This week we added a finish to our cabinets. We put some door and drawer pulls on, and we added a little corner shelf in the back corner of our kitchen. Stay tuned and see how easy this came together. Alright, so here's our cabinets as we left them last week. And this week we are going to put a clear finish on first. Everywhere we've got faux wood, we are going to put a coat or two of matte Mod Podge. You'll have to decide on yours if you need one or two coats. I'm going to start with one and see how it looks. And obviously I'm not going to do this all on camera because we all know how to put on Mod Podge. I'm just going to brush it on. I'm using a matte because I don't want a really shiny finish to this. I want a relatively subtle finish. I just don't want it to look like raw paper and paint. So I am going to coat every part of the cabinets that has visible faux wood, and when that's dry I'll come back and we'll go to the next step. Alright, our clear finish has dried now. So now we need to mark our cabinets where we're going to put our cabinet pulls. So pick out your knobs. I'll talk to you about what I chose when I get to the step where I'm putting them in. Mine are going to be single knobs. So that means I need to measure first. Now I highly recommend for yours you use a pencil, but I want you guys to be able to see what I'm doing, so I'm using a Sharpie. So I can't make any mistakes. So let's first, we know that these little drawers are 1 inch by 1/2 inch. The bottom one is the only one that's different. So I'm going to put my ruler at 1/4 inch and start trying to make sure I have this all straight. Single dot. And if your doors or drawers are a little crooked, you can kind of make them look a little bit more straight by putting your knobs on straight. Now, I'm at a really odd angle here to measure. So I'm going to go through, I'll go ahead and get these done. I'll finish those off camera. Now I'm going to go over, I think, so do I have a corner of my ruler? Yes. I'm going to go 1/8 and 1/8, which will be right there and right there. Oops, right there. And same with this one. Well, this one, let's see, we were only yeah, I'll probably do it that way. It's going to be a little difficult to get in some of these spots. And if you do use a Sharpie, you can remove Sharpie marker with rubbing alcohol if you need to. So I'm going to go through and put dots where I'm going to put all of my cabinet pulls. And when I get those all the dots on, I'll come back and I'll show you the next step. Alright, now I have a dot where I want to put each of my handles. Now for my door handles, I decided to just use the same pins we've been using. I was going to use actually jewelry head pins, but I was short in number. I didn't have enough of any one size. So I do have a push pin because a push pin's easier to poke a hole with. We're going to poke a hole. You're going to need super glue, any super glue. Our pins, I recommend a pair of tweezers and the magic ingredient. I have baking soda from the kitchen and a nice fluffy brush, and you'll see why in a moment. So I've started with this one. I'll get out my pin. Yeah, I would like to have had a slightly bigger head, but that's okay. Hopefully I didn't just put too big a hole in there. Drop of super glue. right there. Probably don't need the push that in. You're going to want to make sure that you're getting them exactly where you want them. Now, first I want to get off as much of that as I can. And dust in some baking soda. Baking soda makes the super glue set immediately, so those are not going to move now. It also causes a much stronger bond. Try not to have an excessive amount of super glue around it. You really don't want a pool around the hole, you just want it on the hole. Make sure your head is right where you want it. And try not to get super glue on your paintbrush. And then when that dries, we can just brush it away. So I am going to set the other 28 pins into my cabinets, and when I get that done, I'll be back. Alright, so I have all 30 of these installed, and now we just take a paintbrush. Soft paintbrush, not a hard one. And then to disguise that we have, once we have all of the baking soda off, you'll want to brush all of that off that's loose. We're going to put another coat of the same Mod Podge on to kind of disguise any spots of glue that are showing. And when I get that on and dried, I'll be back and we'll see how this looks. Alright, now we have our finish is dried, our handles are on, and the kitchen is starting to look really good. Now I've got this little opening I left back here. I left that so I could put a shelf in. I was hoping it would be a little more visible, but it'll still work. So what I have some jumbo craft stick. And I've cut a piece that will fit. I mean, it is so tight, I could actually put it in here and have it in there. It would actually stay. But what we are going to do, I have my super glue. Yeah, my super glue is working. I'm kind of feeding some super glue down over that joint in a couple of places. And then we're going to sprinkle on some more baking soda. This is a little trick I've been playing with for a couple of weeks now on different things. Now, let's go ahead and get the other piece in. Let's see if I can get it in where you guys can see. See, it's, so I think it's the other piece. Yep, it's the other one's just a tiny bit smaller. These are resting right on the top edge of that backsplash. Hopefully not getting my head in the screen here. Whoops. Okay, this one is going to have the glue actually put onto it. It's not quite as tight as the other one. Not gluing my fingers on. It's still pretty darn tight though. Make sure you're level. Yes, we're level. And get some baking soda in there. And we'll just clean up the extra baking soda later. I'm going to put another shelf in just above this one, off camera, because I need to be able to see to do that. And when these are set and all the way ready to go, I'll come back and we'll take a final look. Alright, hopefully you can see that in the video. If not, there will be photos on the blog post. I'll make sure to get a good photo of that corner. But I love how that little shelf looks. Not sure what Mrs. Doll is going to put on it, but we'll just have to wait and see. So I hope you've enjoyed this portion of our project. We now have our kitchen cabinets done. So we're going to come back next time and probably work on the stove. Thank you for watching. Be sure and check the blog post for more pictures. If you'd like to help me make this channel even better, be sure and check out my Patreon page. The link is always in the description box. If you need to talk to me, hit me up on Facebook, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.